We often celebrate the rags to riches journey in football, the kids who grew up with nothing but a ball and a dream, and somehow made it to the top. But not every story begins with struggle. Some footballers started life already surrounded by comfort, stability, even wealth. They didn't need football to escape poverty. They weren't fighting for their next meal. Instead, they were fighting something different: expectation, identity, and the pressure to prove that their success wasn't handed to them. These are the stories of the footballers who were born rich, but still chose the grind. Before continuing, I would like to take this moment to humbly ask you to subscribe to our channel. So please subscribe to the Hypnotic Kicks channel and hit the like button, because then you will help us create lots of incredible football content that we will bring to you. Our channel is just starting now, and each subscription is extremely important to us. Thank you very much for helping us on this journey. I really appreciate it in advance. Let's begin. Gerard Piqué's journey began not on the streets, but in a quiet, upper-class neighborhood of Barcelona. His father, Joan, was a successful lawyer. His mother, Montserrat, was the director of one of Spain's top neurological hospitals. And his grandfather? A former vice president of FC Barcelona. In many ways, Piqué was born into the world of football, not just as a sport, but as a political and cultural institution. He joined Barca's famed academy, La Masia, at a very young age. Surrounded by kids who saw football as a way out, Gerard was the outlier. He didn't need football. He chose it. And when Barcelona offered him a scholarship but no immediate first-team future, he took a bold leap, leaving home at just 17 to join Manchester United in England. A teenage Spaniard, alone in a foreign country, where he had to earn every minute of playing time. Despite the luxury he came from, Piqué built his own reputation, eventually returning to Barcelona to become a legend. He won everything: Champions Leagues, La Liga titles, the World Cup. Off the pitch, he invested in businesses, bought a football club, and even studied at Harvard. His journey proves, being rich didn't make the game easier. If anything, it made proving himself harder. Then there's Ricardo Kaka, the Brazilian superstar known for his grace, humility, and devotion. Born in Gama and raised in São Paulo, Kaka came from an upper-middle-class family. His father was a civil engineer, and his mother a school teacher. In Brazil, where many footballers come from favelas and play barefoot on dirt fields, Kaka's life was different. He had a backyard, a school uniform, a structured life. But what set Kaka apart wasn't his comfort, it was his discipline. He trained with São Paulo FC's youth academy and excelled early. But just as he was about to break into the first team, disaster struck. At 18, he suffered a career-threatening spinal injury from a swimming pool accident. Many thought his playing days were over. But Kaka came back. Stronger. More determined. Within a year, he was dominating the Brazilian league. Shortly after, he moved to AC Milan, where he became a global superstar and won the Ballon d'Or in 2007. He went on to play for Real Madrid, win the World Cup with Brazil, and become one of the most admired figures in football. He never needed football to survive. But he gave everything to it anyway. Robin van Persie's story is another kind of contrast. He grew up in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, in a household full of creativity. His father was a respected sculptor. His mother was an artist and jewelry designer. They weren't flashy or ultra-rich, but they were definitely not poor like a lot of football players came from. Robin wasn't pushed into football. In fact, for much of his childhood, he bounced between school issues and creative impulses. He didn't fit into the classroom. But on the street and the training pitch, he thrived. At 16, he joined Feyenoord's senior team. Just a teenager with an attitude and a gift for striking the ball like a master painter with a brush. His career took him to Arsenal, where he became a Premier League icon, then to Manchester United, where he won the title under Sir Alex Ferguson. Every goal he scored was a reminder: talent doesn't care where you come from, only how far you're willing to go. Mario Götze, the man who scored the winning goal in the 2014 World Cup final. Mario grew up in Dortmund. His father, Jürgen Götze, wasn't just any parent, he was a professor of computer science at the Technical University of Dortmund. Education, logic, structure, this was the Götze household. But Mario had a different kind of gift. He joined Borussia Dortmund's academy and rose through the ranks quickly, admired for his quick feet and football intelligence. By 18, he was already playing for the German national team. At 22, he scored one of the most iconic goals in history, giving Germany their 4th World Cup. But with success came pressure, illness, and struggles with form. His story is a reminder that comfort at home doesn't shield you from battles on the pitch, or in your body. Hugo Lloris was raised in the scenic, sunlit city of Nice on the French Riviera. His father worked in finance, and his mother was a prominent lawyer. He grew up in a quiet, educated household where success was expected, but not necessarily on a football field. He started as a tennis player, even competing at regional levels. But by age 13, his focus shifted fully to football. He joined OGC Nice Youth Academy and made his professional debut with the club as a teenager. Known for his quiet leadership, Lloris went on to captain France to a World Cup title in 2018. Throughout his career, he's been respected for his professionalism, composure, and consistency. He didn't grow up fighting for survival. But he still earned every accolade through focus and relentless work. There are others. Andrea Pirlo, the Italian maestro, whose family owned a steel company in Brescia. He once said he could have stopped playing at 30 and lived comfortably on family wealth, but he played out of love, out of obsession. Frank Lampard, raised in football royalty. His father was a West Ham legend. His uncle? Harry Redknapp. But Frank didn't rely on his name. He worked, studied, pushed himself, and became one of Chelsea's all-time greats. Even Julian Alvarez, Argentina's new star. Though not ultra-wealthy, his family owned a successful transport business. He had security, but he still spent hours training in silence, focused only on getting better. So, what can we learn from these stories? That struggle isn't the only path to greatness. That coming from wealth doesn't mean you're soft. That what really matters is intention, character, and the will to carve your own story. These players had comfort, but chose discomfort. They had security, but chased legacy. In the end, they weren't playing to survive. They were playing to be remembered. What do you think? Does being rich make it harder or easier to succeed in football? Leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for staying until the end and see you in the next video.